The hardest part in starting your buy and hold real estate adventure is just that, getting started. Your first property is going to be the hardest, but you will get through it. And this video is all about why it's hard and how to get through it. So let's go. Hi y'all. If we haven't met before, then welcome. My name is Lori Livers, and I left my 9 to 5 behind in just under 3 years by replacing my boring regular job income with passive income from rental properties. And like I mentioned just a second ago, your first property is going to be the hardest. Now, your first property is going to be the hardest just because you haven't been through this process yet. And that's never a comfortable place to be in. There's a lot of money on the line, and you're going to get nervous and wonder if you even made the right choice to start with. You did. Stick around till the end of the video. We're going to get there. By the time you pull the trigger on your first property, you've hopefully run numbers on a lot of properties. But you've never had to depend on the accuracy of your numbers before, and this is a whole new thing for you. Understand that it's completely normal to feel uncertain at this time. You will find you may not have much confidence in your numbers at all once you're under contract, and that's okay. We have all been there. Stick to your numbers, and if it turns out you're wrong, learn why so that you don't make that same mistake again. Time is on your side with rental properties. You can almost always get through any mistakes you've made on your numbers given enough time. If you're using hard money for the purchase of the property, then you're going to be required to get an ARV appraisal before you close on the house. Now, ideally, this appraisal is going to come in a little higher than what you anticipated, but here's the thing. Don't get too excited about this higher number because in my experience, the hard money ARV appraisal is always just a little higher than the completed ARV appraisal. So be conservative with your numbers here because this is likely to be the same situation for you that it has been for me. My advice to you is to always be conservative with your numbers. You may end up pleasantly surprised if they actually do end up higher, but you will never be sorry you were conservative to start with. Please do consider hitting that like button down below if you're interested in understanding how your first investment property is going to be the hardest. It helps me out in a big way with YouTube, and I cannot do that without you. Thanks so much. Now, another reason why your first property is the hardest is because the rehab is going to uncover something you just didn't plan for. This is just the way it works. You've probably watched all the videos about how unplanned things come up in every rehab, but it feels a whole lot different when it's actually happening and you're the one making the decision on how to proceed. Now, whether or not you plan for the unexpected and whether or not there's any room in your contingency budget, this stuff is still unnerving because it is very real in a real big way, front and center in your world right now. What you need to do in this moment is not to react at all. That's right, do nothing. Give yourself at least a few hours or even a whole day if possible before you react to any unplanned thing that comes up in your rehab. The world is not going to end in this moment, so it's completely fine to allow some time for the emotional reaction to pass so that you can make the best business decision possible. Leave room for the emotion to pass before you make any important decisions. Then make your decision and move forward. You can always pivot later if you need to. Don't jump to conclusions, but don't get stuck in analysis paralysis either. Think it through, move on, and pivot if needed. Time is almost always on your side, and it is going to be okay. The next reason why your first property is going to be the hardest is because you're likely to have to tell potential tenants that they simply cannot rent your property. And this is never comfortable when you've met these people and families because you naturally are going to want what's best for the family. However, they may not be what's best for your business. Again, you can't get emotional about your business. Not every applicant, in fact, most applicants are not going to be a great fit for your property. Give it a little time to find the great fit. It is absolutely worth it. And you will be glad you did for months and months, maybe even years to come. Now, we all go through these things with our first property and learn so much along the way. These, along with many other reasons, are the reasons I am such a believer in getting started with just one rental at a time, so that you can learn how to get through these challenges and get to the good part of being a real estate investor, because there are way more good parts than anything else. Let me know in the comments if y'all want to hear all the other reasons why your first property is going to be the hardest and how there is a solution to everything and it's all going to be okay. Please do consider subscribing to the channel so you can see what it takes to overcome all of these challenges in a real life way. I would love to have you come along on the adventure of rental property investing with me. Right now, I'm waiting to hang out with you in this video you see on your screen. Until I see you over there, bye y'all. You will find you a la 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 la.